Markets make new highs while the jobs numbers suck. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, August the 9th. As the summer is flying by and the markets continue to lose action, it's amazing. We have made new highs in the Dow, S&P, and Russell. Still not the Nasdaq. Pretty solid rally this week, but the biggest problem is the volume was more like holiday volume. But we'll talk about more of that in our market report. In the meantime, the jobs number came out on Friday, showed a loss of jobs, and it's worse than you look at because they don't really give you the full facts. But at the end of the day, it's something that we've talked about ad nauseum about jobs and about the economy, and yet we continue to see markets move up, which again, one has nothing to do with the other except for the biggest picture. But the jobs number has been just absolutely brutal. And again, the rally from Friday can be more attributed to the Fed funds rate dropping, saying that they may not hike rates this year. Now, again, I say they will. We're still going to have to account for inflation and other things. But at the end of the day, jobs numbers suck, and they're not giving you the full story. So we can count on that. If you look out, and again, if you look at employable population versus people working, your true unemployment number is well north of 10%. But you'll see that what I say here will come to fact, and you will find that out. Global food prices hit a 3-year high. Well, there's the inflation part, and of course we have the government requesting or trying to order crude oil companies to lower their prices, and of course I say, well, why should they lower their prices if people are willing to pay these prices? Why should they lower them? Then as we did say here many times, they're going to make record profits, and guess what? Oh, they reported record profits. Not a shock. Okay, the spread in which the amount of money they're making is ridiculous, but again, this is the problem you have when you have a shitty Federal Reserve and you have intervention, which brings us to the intervention, or the yen. We intervened last week to help cover the carry trade, which is where they borrowed cheap yen and then invested elsewhere. But you may or may not remember this, but interventions never work. Okay, they may work for the moment. Okay, but they never work. The yen was spiking down to lows not seen forever, and of course, had a dramatic spike and has now started to come back again. But at the end of the day, okay, anytime you have to intervene and have to have government do something, okay, that means there's a bigger problem. And this goes into the banking system. This goes into us helping Japan in the end. Again, Japan's interest rates have been low for so long that it's been, for those who can do the carry trade, it's been like stealing. But at the end of the day, you will see that we've seen interventions in oil prices and other things over the years, and other financial interventions, and they have never, ever worked the way they should work. And of course, it will lead to much bigger problems. Uh, the bonds and gold jumped. The dollar took a dump, and again, that was a lot to do with the rate hikes, the yen, and whatever. I think that we can see that there are much bigger issues here, which we've talked about many times. I think one of the saddest events is you now need to make about $110,000 to afford a typical house in the United States. A pretty sad state of affairs. And again, you can take this back to the Federal Reserve. You can take this back to the shitty policies. You can take this back to Alan Greenspan, the original bubble builder, because now we're starting to see, and of course, we continue to have massive layoffs. We continue to have continued closings. Even Dairy Queen just closed a bunch of stores. Again, those are jobs that are never coming back. So this is obviously very, very problematic. The Hormuz deal is imminent. Again, there's never going to be a deal. Okay, let's just tell it straight. There's never going to be a deal. Okay, Iran doesn't want a deal. How long have we been talking about Iran? How many years has this been going on? Forget about the dumb war. I mean, if we're going to do what we did in Iran, we should have just taken them out. Okay. But this is not the first deal with Iran over the years. So again, I think you have to just realize that it's all bullshit. The federal government has identified a $230 billion in fraud since March. Do you know how much fraud is in this country? It is so ridiculous. And what are they doing about it? So you want to talk about our massive amount of debt that we have in this country. And a portion of it comes from stupidity of the people that are in charge that let this fraud happen. Okay. It's the overcharging, the things that happen. It is an absolute joke. And what are they going to do about it? That's what I want to know. I don't care that they found it. What are they going to do about it? Consumer credit jumps higher as expected in June. Credit cards debt spikes. Oh, gee, shocking. I mean, we're already at about 17% of the people are 90% days past due on their credit cards. It was shocking that the jump in credit. I mean, what else are they going to do? They got no money, so they're going to put it on their credit card. Unfortunately, that's going to eventually come back to pay them. New York grocers go to red, and communist. You think you know, everybody thinks, which we'll talk more in our commentary, but what Mandami is trying to do in New York is stupid, and he's already reaching out to some capitalists, which aren't going to help him. But they're giving discounts on groceries, which would be below cost because groceries are not a high profit item to begin with. Your tax dollars at work. New Jersey cops dress up as bushes to hand out cell phone violations. This is all we have to do. We have to worry about people on their cell phone or driving. Again, I understand it's against the law, but isn't there a more serious crime in this country than worried about somebody using their phone? Isn't there a better use of our resources? And of course, Fauci's day of reckoning. Well, they held him in contempt. His wife was also a bad person. Uh, they've done dramatic damage, and again, it's appearing like they were in on the beginning of the COVID disease. As I said, day one, that it was a man-made created disease. I didn't realize Fauci was involved, but it appears that he is. We're going to find out, but he should burn. He should go to jail. But of course, we know that unfortunately, most federal officials don't go to jail, but he should. We should see it happen. Let's see how it plays out over the next few weeks, but at least we're getting closer to see something. So we'll step out here for a break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, August the 9th, and we'll be back right after the break with our market report. What's up, kids? Hope everything's good. Hope you had a great week. And of course, remember our daily trade finder. We didn't have a good week in daily trade finder, but again, we're not going to lie to you and tell you that we did. We're still very profitable, but sometimes you just have a bad week, and this was one of them. But hey, check it out. You'll see for yourself how we do it. And remember our trader brokerage. Listen, it's $10 a month, saves me over $100,000 a year in commission and cost. All of our automation works directly with Tradier. So certainly they're terrific operation, very good, very, very good customer service. They take care of you. And again, it's all about the money and what you can save. And of course, Capital Trading Group, our partner in commodities and futures, that we do a lot of programs and partnerships with them. Certainly one of the best in the business, and check them out. And of course, the Joy of Mom, which is really blossoming and helping a lot of moms and families out throughout the country and throughout the world. And our high school program, which of course we want to help educate our children to make things better so we don't end up in this shithole that we're in the position we're in right now. And of course, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and of course, our market report. Welcome back. Bubba's Bottom Line is Sunday, August the 9th. And of course, the markets, as I said, made all-time new highs. But the volume is absolutely horrible. Again, I say to you that volume is really bad and it's scary. Now it is summer, so we'll give part of it a pass. But the volume has been coming down anyways. I think what you watch and you see here, again, the market is a rally is a rally. We're not going to tell you that it can't rally any farther. Uh, we are looking, and we did call for a rip your face off rally. We saw that. We did call for a little bit of a sell off. We saw that, and then we saw, of course, on Friday a little bit of a rally. Let's see how it plays. Again, we are a little bit short on some things. Nothing dramatic, but the real problem is a lack of activity and a lack of action, which is very much a concern in the business. So we'll see how it plays out. In the meantime, as we look at the markets, the equities, everything made new highs except for the Nasdaq. The dollar got hammered a little bit based on that yen intervention. Euro currency has popped a little bit. We'd be looking to sell at about 117. Bonds and notes had a little bit of a rally, not a surprise. I mean, they were oversold. Look, they're coming up to resistance. So we're selling notes at 109. We're selling bonds at 111. Bitcoin closed just over 65,000. That's not an official breakout, but it's a start. We'll see. Gold, silver, and platinum were higher and have broken out of their ranges. We'll see how that plays out. I would expect a little bit of a pullback. Gold's a little bit overbought in here. We're still long, but it is a little bit overbought. Copper above that 650, failed at 680 as we thought during we talked about during the week. Um, Grain markets are churning. I think you're going to get ready to turn around and go back up again. Cattle hit our 230 level perfectly and sold right off, which we expected. Hogs didn't never got to where we could sell them, but continue to go lower and are making new lows for that contract. Natural gas is in the middling. I mean, again, I'm not interested in it right now. Another couple of weeks, we'll be more interested in natural gas and crude. Got hammered again. Did rally the last couple of days of the week, but basically got spanked. I think it's going lower. I think we're going to be down in the 50s by the end of the year. Somebody asked about the softs. Cotton looks like it's breaking out. Uh, Cocoa sideways in consolidation. Sugar spiked higher the end of actually all week. Excuse me. Sugar was up about 2 cents last week. Big, huge move. I'd be a seller right now. Coffee continues to consolidate, and OJ is working its way down and it continues to consolidate. So, again, there you go. I covered the sauce for you a little bit. We'll look at them a little bit more, but in the meantime, again, just be careful. There's not enough action to get too involved here, and I would be very, very cautious and careful about the trades that I make here and how deeply involved I want to get in. In the meantime, let's step out for our final break and come back with our commentary. Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, August the 9th. Well, kid, just a reminder. Daily Trade Finder, check it out. Trader Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, The Joy of Mom in our high school program, and let's get back to my commentary right here on Bubba's Bottom Line. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, Top Bubba Horowitz, and of course, we do commentary every week. And well, you know, I'm kind of sad about what's going on. I'm kind of angry what's going on, and of course, that's starting in what's going on in New York, what's happened now in Michigan, what's going on in Chicago. And we're letting all these socialist, communist, anti-American people get elected to offices in America. And of course, if you go back to Nazi Germany, Hitler didn't start out with what happened at the end result. It was started out as a small movement and blossomed. And by the time everything happened, it was too late. And I warn you, what's going on in New York, we now have 4 or 5 communist socialist government officials. You have now one running in you have a couple in Michigan, some in Minnesota, Chicago. These movements start out small, and before you understand it, it's too late. And I think if you're not careful, all great empires fail in the 250 to 300 year level, and here we are. And they don't fail from the outside, they fail from the inside. And I think you're seeing a lot of that, and I think we better do something about it. If you don't care, hey, listen, nothing I can do. And I'll be dead long before it affects me. But I think for you, for your children, your grandchildren, same for me, I would certainly like to see a little change here because the disaster that is upcoming is going to be unbelievably bad for everybody, and it'll be hard to get out of. And I think that if you're going to continue to let government try to intervene, you're going to continue to try socialism. You're trying for the Great Reset. You don't like capitalism. I think you're going to have a much bigger problem, and I assure you, you'll be unhappy when it's all said and done. Because look at the countries that have tried it, and people aren't happy, and it doesn't work. So again, I can only put out my opinion, which is it's ridiculous what's going on. I can warn you, it's up to you to decide. And certainly we do have elections coming up now. But if you think that these people that hate America that are going to help you, I think you better think again. And this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. Have a great weekend, everybody. As always, I appreciate you all. And I'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, have a great weekend. We'll see you later.